Hello everyone, Elijah here, and I welcome you to another casual RTA video. And today I'll be showing you in my opinion, strongest pairing when it comes to using Jacko. This first match actually isn't really a good match of showcasing Jacko per se, but it was the match in which I realized how good of a pairing Solitaria and Jacko are. Now, why is that? So Jacko's S2 has a passive in which, after an ally attacks, when the target is stunned, increases the combat readiness of our allies. And a lot of people, or what I was doing initially, was pairing Jacko with AoE units, hoping to get that 25% chance to stun with her, chain of Siron thing, passive or buff that she grants to people, and trying to do that it never proccing, the odds of me losing is like 25 or winning is like 25%, which isn't a good probability. But Solitaria, her S3 has a 100% chance to stun. Well, I mean, if you get 15% it, then you know you lose that way. But um, it's still a lot higher chance to stun, and since you do have that kind of almost guarantee of stunning, it is so much better. It is so much stronger of a pairing with Jacko. Pairing Jacko with a unit that actually can stun. Uh, themselves versus having pairing Jacko with a unit and giving them the chance to stun is essentially what I'm getting at. So yeah, here's the drafting that's going on in front of me. I kind of talked over it, but essentially I was looking at their team and I realized that I could just pick Jacko here and see how things go and hope for the best, essentially. Uh, I was thinking to myself, if they didn't pick another or they didn't pick a speed contester, then it would be pretty safe to pick Jacko because I could just get rid of AOL, and the only fast unit I have to worry about is the Elfelt, essentially. So we get rid of that, and at first glance, I am kind of concerned because I feel like after Solitaria goes, because I am going to use Solitaria to focus a Moo, not a Moo oh my gosh, not that. Thinking about a different game, to focus Rimuru, um, and after that, I was kind of thinking okay, well, after I use Solitaria to focus down Rimuru, then what do I do? Because then Elfel's gonna go and control one of my units. At least that is what I thought. That is what I was thinking. Also, I didn't really need to put Solitaria in the back row. I think I should have put a different unit there just to give them the random chance if they got to stun, like my Huayang. So my Solitaria ends up being faster, thankfully, and then it's all a matter of, not getting resisted. I considered using S1, and then I was like, no, 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 I don't want to do that. And then I just go for the Rimuru. Rimuru ends up getting, he got the immunity spelled, he got stunned, in which everybody's combat readiness got increased. And I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot that was a thing. I completely forgot that was a thing that was in Jacko's kit because I have lost so many games trying to get Jacko to work, and it just doesn't work. um, until I got to this match where I figured out how to get her to work, essentially. Um, but yeah, we go for the, one-shotting the Rimuru because he is debuffed, so it is relatively easy to do. I try to get the stun onto RB. It does not proc, sadly. If it did proc there, then I would have killed him, basically going for I would have killed him and then killed him again, basically. I also think that now that I think about it, because her Jacko's S3 is not Mola at all, barely. So I think she would have killed even without the stun. My Jacko is not fully Mola, and now that I actually know how to use her, drafting wise, I will actually invest a lot of Molas in her because she's a fun unit. I really like her playstyle. I really think she's a lot of fun. You will see in the later matches, it's pretty entertaining how I shut down an entire team by stunning them over and over again and preventing them from doing anything. And it was really fun to watch it happen. And it was also another match where I just watched Jacko go ham, killing people over and over again. And in this match, essentially, it looks like it looks like I can lose here, actually, given the fact that that my DPS units or Jacko's about to die by only other DPS. Uh, but thankfully, because Solitaria's presence, um, she just debuffs him and prevents Arby from kind of being useful, decrease hit chance. Um, I was kind of like hoping to get a stun here. I got the strip off, but not that impactful. Arby also has decreased attack, basically making him completely useless. Um, they go for the soul burn, I think, here, trying their best to try to do everything they can to see if they can like clutch out a victory. But he not only misses, but he also has decreased attack, so there's just like no hope there. And I think they throw in the towel because there's no way. And Elfel, because I think I stun her here. Yeah, I stun her here. There's just no way to come back from that. So yeah, we go on to some of the more fun fights, the more interesting fights that I really liked. Alrighty, so we're on to the next fight, and this one was a lot of fun. This one was kind of funny. This was kind of like really showed like Jacko's potential to the fullest and why I think in the right draft she is a very good unit. Who do I first pick here? I think I first pick, yeah, Celilius just to have a threat. I pick Celilius with the intended purpose of them banning it. Like I want them to ban Celilius. Like I don't really care to keep her in the draft. That's not really what she's there for. She's just there to be a threat. I go into at Jacko and then I pick. I see that they're going to go for like a cleave type draft, um, or like a reverse cleave, I guess. So I'm expecting them to pick Ran here just because it only makes sense for them to pair with Iseria. Yep. And then they actually pick somebody that I wasn't expecting. That kind of caught me off guard because I've never seen this unit be used in RTA as of all the matches that I've played, because I guess nobody's summoned her yet. But it was Pirate Captain Flan, who sadly we don't really get to see her do anything due to reasons. You will find out. Um, but yeah, it's they go into this cleave draft. I'm kind of just like, what can I pick here to be annoying? And I pick Belian, and they pick Kisei. And I was kind of scared because Kisei actually does counter my team super hard, but I am just hoping that my Karik is faster, because if he is faster, then nothing matters, right? Um, it's just a matter of my Karik and Solitaria being faster than their Kisei, which is kind of like hit or miss, like you never really know. But what happens here? Yes, I do end up being faster, which kind of just secures the win for me. I try to think about who I do not want to deal with here, and I just get rid of um, I get rid of the Politis, even though Politis doesn't really like, or I guess she does. I guess she ruins the CR push. So yeah, I guess I had to get rid of Politis, now that I think about it, because she like counters that CR push up. Then Jacko gets pushed up, which is amazing. And then we see Jacko and her fullest potential, one-shotting somebody, getting rid of them, and then we stun the Summertime Iseria, right? Then we go again, killing Summertime Iseria. Uh, yeah, and that's Jacko. That's Jacko at her fullest potential, right? You get the stun off, and then she actually pops off. And we're gonna go into the next fight. This fight was pretty funny. It was funny because of the fact that the person was like spam emoting due to the fact that they couldn't do anything. They were just like laughing because they're just like, wow, I'm getting stun locked to death. But they actually picked a tankier draft versus a squishier draft um, that I ended up going against. I think I just supposed Pixel, or no, I still do the Conquer Lilius, just to be a unit that I hope gets banned. Like I just ban the Sea Lilius. I don't really care for her to get through. That's kind of what I think to myself. They pick Mediator Calric, who I'm pretty sure is who I ban because I actually can't deal with Mediator at all. I go ahead and pick Jacko because I'm confident that I'm confident that this is gonna work out. I am. I'm like very sure of myself, right? And at this point, I think they go into basically trying to counter what they are assuming I'm cleaving. Uh, and they pick like APOC and Belian, I'm pretty sure here, which is smart because I mean it's a good way to deal with cleavers, but I wasn't necessarily cleaving per se. Just I guess I kind of am. Kind of no, not really. I all these units that I have drafted right now are like mid speed, mid to okay speed, right? They're not built to be a speed contester by any means. So they could have 100% if they had the speed gear challenged my speed, because that's kind of that would have scared me a little bit. So I go into this, I thinking to myself that I'm going to pick my Calric here because I was thinking I could just turn reset their Mediator Calric, right? Making him useless. I also was considering picking Roana at one point, being like, and then I kind of realized that that's not a smart move because Huayang is present. Huayang just one shots my Roana, making her completely useless. Uh, then I picked Landy because I was like, oh, they have a bunch of buffs, or they will have a bunch of buffs with Mediator. And then I pick Hand Dude, or whatever, the other hand guy, the original hand guy, you know? Who did I pick last? They picked Milam, and I was just like, that's interesting. So I'm like, they're definitely going to ban Solitaria, right? Because they pick Milam, but ban, uh, they ban my Calric, which I was very confused about. So I was like, okay, I kind of win. Just off of drafting alone, like my chances of winning is extremely high because they left Solitaria through and they picked Milam, who essentially um, will never get her focus due to the fact that that she cannot gain it because Solitaria is on the field. And I decide to go for the controlling the Huayang here. And my win con, I was thinking to myself, is that my Solitaria stuns here, so if she got resisted, then I would lose for sure. But she doesn't get resisted, and I then go in and basically get rid of the Milam, which is pretty nice. Uh, big damage, big damage. Not fully Mola, but still some pretty decent amount of damage. I decide to try to stun the lion here just because if I get rid of that, then it makes this fight 10 times easier. I don't get the stun, and she counters, which is also another thing, right? I could just get countered to death like over and over and over again. My Landy goes, I'm really hoping I get a stun off, right? I'm like, please, please, please. It would be so funny to see Landy stun people, right? That's like it would be so funny to see that, but it doesn't happen. APOC can't really do anything. I'm wondering what artifact their APOC Ravi's on, because I don't think it's Crimson Seed or Timeless Anchor. Um, so I go in, get the stun off, Uh, I think this is where they start like emo spamming or emote spamming because they're like getting controlled like crazy. Right, I think I get another stun here, possibly. Well, I got it resisted. I did technically get a stun off, but I got resisted there. Dual attacks, we love seeing those. Um, I'm just popping off. The damage on her, on the S1 could be a lot higher, but once again, don't have the mola to do it. This is where they start laughing because they're just like, well, don't know what to do here. Just casually getting stunned and debuffed like crazy. And they're in a predicament where they can't necessarily S3 here because of the fact that the decreased attack, like you're not necessarily probably going to kill here. Go for that. Uh, Basically focusing APOC Ravi now to the fact that I don't necessarily have to worry about dealing with um, the Belian because she is stunned. Landy goes. Landy does her thing. And this, I almost lost the fight at this moment right here because I accidentally hit S1 instead of S3. Like, and not to mention I got resisted by that stun again, um, which the APOC ended up living. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, did I just lose this fight? Like, I 100% was like, I lost this, right? Like, I'm like thinking to myself, this is crazy. But luckily, with all those resistances that APOC Ravi was doing or whatnot, um, my Solitaria basically does the same thing, resisting the provoke. Um, and oh, and I guess my Landy as well. And yeah, everybody resisted like almost everything. Like the people that mattered, they resisted the provoke. So yeah, that concludes this battle. That concludes my RTA preseason edition, I guess, because now I won't do another RTA video until the actual season starts. And I also plan on doing an account review, like the beginning of the season account review, and then I'll do kind of like the end of the season account review. That's why I haven't done an account review yet. My last account review was in December, so you can best believe a lot of my units gear have changed. I have built new units and I have gained new units to my pool. So yeah, I will do an account review in I guess 5 days when the season starts. So yeah, that concludes this video, and if you guys did enjoy, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!